Hi guys, welcome to season 2 of the Edge Cases podcast.
Yeah.
My name is Derek and I'm here with
Franklina, call me Frankie, your co-host.
Yeah, so thank you so much for all the support from season 1. And we are so happy. We've been getting a lot of messages about bringing this back for season 2. Thank you for the messages. Sorry for the wait. And yeah, we are back. So enjoy. So today we have an exciting lineup. We have a couple of things to discuss. And we are going to discuss the Liquid Glass by Apple. We are going to discuss some education stuff about what it means to be a solo designer at a startup. And then we are going to talk about one spicy hot take that has been on my chest for so long. Frankie, probably also be on your chest for so maybe you have some things to say, but we see
A little.
All right, cool. So for the first one, we want to talk about what it takes to be a solo designer at a startup. So you happen to be a solo designer.
Yeah, it just clicked that I am a solo designer working on Cleave.
For how long now?
Oh, we started last year. We started making noise about it last year around September. So roughly we are 10 months. We are right now at 10 months.
Oh, nice.
September, and we just clocked 800 users. So
nice.
Yeah.
Cue the clap. The claps. But how's it been? 800 users? Mm-hmm. How has it been so far?
Well, it's 800 users can be seen as like a vague metric, but then it just tells us that people are interested in what we are doing, what we've put out there, enough to have signed up to give it a try. Of course, there's still a lot of things we are looking to add that will make it even more valuable, because right now you can only save web pages. We just introduced adding images we have like a lot of things that we want to add. We are nowhere near the end. So I'm just excited as to where we are heading right now. Yourself, have you been a solo designer?
A couple of times. In health tech, worked on DocuFarm. That was exciting.
What was that about?
So DocuFarm is a documentation solution for pharmacists.
That's very
niche. It's outside. Niche. It's not fintech.
Yeah. Or e-commerce.
Yes. Yeah, so that one, it was outside of my domain. I had nothing to do with pharmacy until then, so I had to do a lot of learning. And that was tough a bit because you had zero idea jumping into. All you knew is that you want to solve documentation for pharmacists. And that did well. A lot of public pharmacy institutions are onboarding their people. And it's really cool.
How did you get that?
How did I get that?
Yes, it's considering you have a 9 to 5. How did you get into health tech, into that space?
Well, a friend was building the product.
Okay.
He pitched the idea to me. It made sense. So I just jumped on it. And yeah, it's health. I have a health background also.
Okay.
So, but I don't have a pharmacy background. So the health bit was what pulled me. It made the learning curve a bit easier to go across. And yeah.
Okay. So my role in Cleave was a designer, basically. So I thought of the entire thing from scratch. I remember the first time we had to design the main page where the bookmarks were going to live. We started and it was a lot of figuring out, like you try this, it didn't work, or it works. After a few days, you open Figma and then it looks, what did I design? And you try something else. There were a lot of things that we had to try to feel, to, see how it works for us before we decided that this was what we're going to go with. Did that happen to you? Did you have that time to do all that?
Yeah. I mean, the first version that we sent out was the MVP. So we knew that we'll definitely come back to
by all means, that one.
So we knew we'd definitely come back to do this. So there are a lot of times that I do a flow, we validate it, and then after the validation, I'm like, yeah, this is ugly. we need to redo this. This is ugly, we need to do this. So one thing I also learned, once you go into the first iteration knowing that this is disposable, it reduces the reluctance of like throwing away ideas, right? But then when you go into every iteration thinking that, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread, you become attached to it, right? Yeah. And that's one thing that I believe solo designers in startup also need to have. You need to be ready to throw away ideas.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. I remember how many times we worked on something in Cleve. We went like, this is it. Like, we've landed on it. Or this is the flow. Or like, this is it. And then we go a month, even less than a month. And then we scrap out the whole thing. Like, the whole thing. And then we are now like, okay, this is not the new it, right? So for me as well, it's the same thing. You have to let go of ideas as fast as you create them. Yeah. So the thing is, churn out ideas, sort out the trashy ones in order for you to get to that point where you hit your new it. Yeah. There's always a new it for that one. Yeah. So you just need to churn out as much to get to that point.
Yeah. But before you get to a point where you can churn out a lot of ideas or throw away ideas, you need to be someone that generates a lot of ideas.
Yeah. Otherwise, you stay fixed onto that one.
Yes. Yeah. I see a lot of times people move with their very first iteration. So let's say somebody sends me a design to review, and then I ask them, what other ideas have you thought of? And they're like, only this. And you go to their Figma and just one screen that they've designed and they've brought it for review. So even if you, the designer, you've not had multiple ideas to choose from, and then you pick the best one, how do you want me as somebody who is going to review it to see where your thought process is coming? Yeah. Right. And it's a skill that designers need to, even if you're not a solo designer, it's something that helps a lot, knowing how to generate lots of ideas quickly and then presenting that. So
the quickly, right? I feel it's subjective because if you don't have time, you can't do quickly. True, I don't know for other people, but for me, if I don't have time, I can't do quickly. So what I can do is I do what I can in the moment. And if I have time, I come back to explore around. But usually I don't come back because I don't have time.
Yeah. Iterations, I don't look at iterations as big changes.
Okay.
So if I have, let's say 5 items and then I duplicate that frame and then I change something in just one, that's also an iteration.
Okay, so people think of iterations as I'm changing the whole thing.
Yeah, that's not iteration. Okay. That's an overhauling.
Okay.
So iteration could be tweaking something small on your existing design, duplicate it, change the color from black to gray. That's an iteration, right? So until you've exhausted iterations, so you do a lot of iterations, and that gets you to an overhaul. Because one iteration, you change the header. Then the other iteration, you change the title. Then another iteration, you change this. By the time you get to 10 iterations,
overhauled the entire thing.
It's totally different from what you started with in iteration 1.
And that's what being a solo designer means. Yeah. Like, you have to explore very quickly.
Yes.
Try out new things. Like, you pick a section. Maybe if it's a button, you did white on a blue background. You can ask yourself, okay, what if the button was black?
Yes.
Or what if it was rounded? Yeah. Or what if it was, I don't know, you add images to it, I don't know, something. You just have to ask yourself, what more can I do to this element, this block, this screen, anything?
We don't ask ourselves a lot of questions, like enough questions about the work we've done. Because if you do a design, you ask yourself, is this the best experience? Is something going to go wrong? What if the user clicks here and doesn't do this? The more questions you ask yourself about your work, the more edge cases you see. Not the podcast though. The more edge cases you see and you design for. And if you don't ask yourself a lot of questions about your work and you're always thinking, oh, this idea that I've done, oh, no shit, like this thing, the best thing, like the design is nice. Maybe you're designing tired. You wake up in the morning and you see that.
Let me digress a bit. I think some designers have this end. Sometimes I find myself in that hole as well. There's this end we are designing for. When we hit that point, that's it. Like, we are done. Yeah. Like, we are done. There's, okay, let me just submit the work for a review. Let me just have this go and walk the person through. I'll be honest, I find myself in that hole sometimes, but you just have to slow down. Even if you hit that point, come back.
Yeah.
Right? Come back and come and see. am I persisting information? Am I carrying the user along? What if the user does this? What if something goes wrong, right? You can hit the end, but then make sure you come back, come ask yourself all of these questions. So that is all about cycling through ideas as a solo designer, right? So what next? What's the next thing to do to get your foot in the door as a solo designer in a startup?
I mean, solo designers, you are the only designer there. You'll probably be the other product-focused person apart from the product manager.
That is if there's a product manager.
Some people don't even have a product manager. It's you and the CEO. So you need to be somebody that thinks beyond just the UI. So looking at how the product is positioned in the market. So you look at your product, see the competitors, right? A lot of people mention competitor analysis, but what they do is just look for screenshots and then they copy.
So what goes into that?
So look at the various competitors, look at the type of users that they are going for, go through the product. If they've written any articles, any case studies on the product, look at them, go to the website, see the various use cases that those competitors are building their product for, and see if it fits, or you can do a Venn diagram and then see where your use cases overlap with their use cases, and then see the pitfalls that their product has or various problems that their product have not been able to solve. Then you can maximize your potential in those areas, so that now when you're designing, you know that, okay, product A does very well in onboarding, but then they are not able to retain the customer. Then you know that, okay, my advantage over them might be in customer retention, right? So all those is going into competitor analysis, not just going to take screenshots of their products, come back and then put sticky notes there and say, okay, I like the header, I do this. But where is the product positioned in the market? Are they the number one product in the market? If it's number one, why is it number one? Because users do this. Do they pay a lot for ads? How do they get users? Do they get users a lot by referral? Go through the entire flow and see what the customer journey, and see what they impress on their users. Do they force their users to refer people? Like what Arc does this. Arc and the DR browser, they force you in quotes in a way to refer people.
How so?
With the invite.
Right.
So they tell you, if you're not an Arc user, you can't use the DR browser.
So now you have to go get somebody.
Exactly.
But they need the products to go, so they have to come up with creative ways to get you.
So now if you're a browser, you need to look at that. How do they acquire customers? They acquire customers by FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. So now how can you implement that better in your product? All those go into competitor analysis, right? So now you need to be somebody that thinks beyond how the product looks, and then see how you can position the product. Because it's you and the CEO.
Yeah.
It's you and the CEO.
Let me play the devil's advocate a bit. When you do competitor analysis, okay, I think I've answered the question myself, but let me ask anyways. So you know how, like you said, a lot of us do competitor analysis by just looking at how the product looks and then going exactly. Yes. Subconsciously, right, you tend to put yourself in a box, and then your output tends to look like your competitors, right? How do you get around that?
I mean, you can start by looking like your competitors.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Your MVP.
So it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. But as time goes on, you want to cause some differentiation.
Yeah. Right. I can agree to that, because when we started Clip didn't have a look. As in, we were just designing, just trying to see how to get something done, right? And then suddenly, I don't know, I wouldn't even say suddenly, but gradually, we started getting this look. We started going like, oh, we want our cards to feel nicer, feel cleaner, less information, but then feel valuable. So we started designing like that. Our cards started looking some way. We are slowly going into our models. So like, we started out with how do these people, or how do other products in our space keep web pages, and then we moved on to, we've not figured that out, but then we are just now trying to have our own look and feel. So if you are looking at your competitors and copying them, copying is not bad, but copying is not bad. But then just have at the back of your mind that at some point you need to have an identity for your product.
Exactly. Identity is the word, because you want your product to be memorable.
Yeah.
And if your product looks like every other thing on the market, there's nothing memorable about it. Right? If somebody screenshots a part of the Arc browser like this. The sidebar.
The sidebar. Everyone knows it's the side.
So somebody
sidebar
comes to your PC and sees that your browser has a sidebar. Oh, Arc.
Yeah.
Like you've not even told them it's Arc, right? So your product needs to have something that differentiates it from every other one, and you're not going to find that on the first day. So you can start your product off with copying from people, but then once you start acquiring customers, once you start leaning more into your specific use case, that's why the use cases are very important, right? So a founder comes to tell you they want to build a note-taking app. A note-taking app can be used in a lot of use cases. Salespeople can use it, pharmacists can use it, students can use it, whoever can use it. So you need to know which customer group are you designing for? What use case are you designing for? Now, the more you lean more into the use case, it differentiates your product from the other ones on the market. So you look at Apple Notes. Apple Notes started, you can take notes randomly. Now you can do those calculations in it. That means you can take it to school and then you do your calculations in it and it works, right? So don't just be a UI guy. Don't just be somebody who just works in Figma. Yeah. Don't be a Figma monkey.
Yeah. I think a lot of people or a lot of designers, when they hear competitor analysis, like you said, it's just screenshots of your competitors and then I like this about it, and then it's that's it. It doesn't go beyond the screens. It doesn't go to what is their positioning in the market, who are the kinds of users they attract, what is even their market cap, like what is the revenue they are making. It doesn't go beyond that. And it's even recently that I started looking beyond my competitors away, like from their screens, right? So anyone listening, just if you're doing competitor analysis, it doesn't end on their flows and their experiences.
If you're going to fight somebody and you are doing research on them, won't you?
So the research they do is what they are wearing or what they look like. They don't
need to know,
consider this person went to this school or has this degree.
This person, their left jab is weak. So now I need to lean into the left so that you need to know.
Yeah. Like you need to know everything.
You need to know. If their designer goes to nightclub on Friday, you need to know so that you go there and then
that's like stalking or next level stalking.
You need to drink the drink they are drinking and then you see, okay, maybe that's where their powers come from.
Yeah, you have to follow them in the press, what they are saying, like everything. As much, the more information you have about your competitors, I'm pretty sure the more standouts you can be with your product, or with your solution. Okay, so we've spoken about cycling through your ideas. We've spoken about as a solo designer, churning out more ideas. We've also spoken about staying abreast with the industry, your competitors. The next thing you can do as a solo designer is wearing multiple hats. In fact, wearing all of the hats.
Not you can do. You have
should do. Right. I can say that with Clive again because apart from being a designer, I have been I've played the role of a customer support. I have written emails. I have pushed out emails. I don't do a lot of graphic design. I shy away from that, but I try to, because we are trying to relook at our OG images, and I churned out some ideas there so I can say I have some small graphic design skills over there because I came up with pretty cool ones, even though they haven't been developed yet or they haven't been done yet, right? So what's your take on that? Wearing all the hats, people will say jack of all trades, yada, yada, yada. Like, what do you think?
Hey, jack of all trades, you have to be a master of all. Well, you don't need to be an expert level skill of all
because
of
I'm not an expert level customer support. Like, people at me and go like, oh, Franklin, Cleve, something is not working. And then I reach out to them and just try to probe.
There was a conversation on Twitter some time back where people are like, if you hire them for a product design role and you come and ask them to do graphic design, they will not do because you are paying them for product design, this. Yeah.
Jabbing,
those talking. Are conversations of people who have not built anything. Because like in a team, there are times that you have to wear multiple hats. There are times that, even if you're in a big team, there'll be times where you need to wear multiple hats. You need to pick up something that somebody else was doing. I've had situations where I've picked up work that was not in my pod, right? I mean, payment, internal tooling, and a couple of other pods. And because somebody was on leave, I had to go and pick up the work that person was doing. Not because, like, I have jack of all trades, but because it had to be done. Right. Sometimes the reason
Just
for you...
I can't imagine somebody asking me on Twitter saying maybe there's something wrong with Cliff, and I'll go like, we don't have a customer support person.
Exactly.
So wait, I don't know.
Exactly. Right. Sometimes the reason for you doing it is because it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Your company needs a graphic, something to post on LinkedIn or something. Do you want them to go and hire somebody just because of a LinkedIn post? You have to.
You have to step
Sometimes
up. Sometimes the role calls for it.
People talk too much.
I think they just follow what others are saying.
Sometimes it annoys me. Because it's like, I've hired you, and then I've hired you because I think you believe in the product and the vision. And then because I need you to do something, not even that's outside your scope. You're a designer, right? Are you saying that since well, it is okay before I get. But the thing is, okay, let me digress a little bit. You look at how people got into product design in the, I don't say olden days, that'll make me feel very old.
But you're old. Go on.
So there are lots of people who moved from graphic design. They were illustrators, they were brand designers, and then they pivoted into graphic design. And now, they pivoted into product design. And now they are functioning fully as product designers. And then they find it very easy to wear multiple hats and be generalists in roles. I found that nowadays people jump from zero knowledge at all to product design. And
like
okay, well, that is it. So what I'm saying to you. So
I'll take it.
So people move from zero to product design, and the reason for the hesitation is they cannot do it, and not necessarily they don't want to.
Okay, so it's not like me, because I've tried graphic design. Like, I know my strength with graphic design. I can't do the fancy thing, but then I can do something. I can post. I can post it out there. And my sister's business thing like this, I put together the menu. It's not bad. Like, as in, you can see it and get the message I'm trying to put across, right? But I'm not like an A class.
Yeah, but I can do something.
Yes, I can do something when called upon. Yeah. Like, if it's pressing, I can do it. If somebody else can do it, fine. But then if that person is not available and I think I can, work my way around it, I'll try.
Yeah, that is why when someone's getting into design, my first thoughts, start learning typography, color, those very, very basic things, right? And when it calls for it, there's a time where you have to showcase your graphic design skill. It doesn't have to be something very stylish or something like what maybe Adobe Messiah would do or Joshua would do, or like it should be something at least the person reads it and it's legible enough. It's this. And I think people rush too much to fight it, right?
Fight as in not stepping up to do other things.
Yeah, people need to step up.
Okay, I think we've kept this conversation around designers doing other design things. In my case, I'm a designer who did support, which is totally outside of. I talk about it. You can call that mini marketing. I have done customer support. I've done email marketing. You can say that. For you at DocUFarm, did you happen to do anything other than design in the design space?
I mean, you talk to the pharmacists.
Okay.
You talk to them. I almost did something developer related, but we had solid devs. So
you didn't take their jobs away from them.
No, please. But at Yellowcard, there was a time we shadowed some customer support people to see how they did their job. We did that as part of some dog fooding exercise that we were doing. So we shadowed them. We look at how they were doing their job, look at how they were approving, denying KYC. I saw some horrible KYC pictures. People were taking bare-chested KYC pictures, like
showing who's boss.
So shadowing the support for the components that I'm building. Doing support to like you mentioned.
You actually spoke to customers. I don't know.
I have almost 747 users as we are speaking.
That's
nice.
And
I've gotten a lot of support issues. Last Jeff Hinson, shout outs to Jeff. He sent me some issue that he was facing. I had to drop work and then fix the issue. I had to drop work, fix the issue, and then within an hour, I sent him a streak and told him that
the work has been done.
Yeah, like the issue has been fixed. So sometimes you need to.
As a solo designer, you should know that you are going to do a lot of things outside of being a designer. If you're a solo designer and you're not doing that, does that mean you're not a solo designer?
No.
So you're just being a designer there. Yeah. Like if you're the only designer in a team and working on a side product, working on a company, and you are only designing, you're not doing any of these things, it means you're not being a solo designer. That's what that means. Or that's what we are trying. Is that what we are, okay.
Not necessarily. If you are the only designer among a team of a PM, a dev, the CEO, ops people, you are still the only designer by definition. So it doesn't take anything away from you if you're not doing graphic design or you're not doing customer support or anything. Okay. It doesn't take anything away. By definition, you are still a solo designer.
Okay.
If there are 200 people in the company and you're only designer, you're still a solo designer.
Okay.
Right.
So as soon as there's one more person, that title changes.
Yes, you're no longer a solo designer. I mean, by definition. By definition, you're no longer a solo designer. Yeah, but if you're not doing, the fact that you're not doing customer support or doing every other thing outside your actual role, it doesn't take anything away from you. You are not, that's not what we are saying. We are not saying you're a bad person for not doing that. We are saying times where you need to show up.
You need to show up.
You should show up, right? Especially in anything related to design. You should at least show up, right?
So if you don't know, you have to know how to do it.
You have to learn.
Right now, there's information about everything. So it's not even, it's no excuse to say, I don't know how to do it. You just need to try. Like,
watch one YouTube video.
You'll be fine.
Somebody, my trick is if you want to learn something, somebody has done a 1 hour tutorial on it.
30 minutes even.
You will find 1 hour tutorial.
Okay, so just to wrap up this conversation, we've highlighted 3 main things you would be doing if you find yourself working as a solo designer. The first is you'll be churning out a lot of ideas. You'll be throwing a lot of them away. You'll be moving very fast. So as a designer, you have to psych yourself to be doing that. The second thing is staying abreast in the industry, monitoring your competitors, stalk them.
Yes.
In quotes.
Know
stalk
what they
them.
eat for lunch.
Stalk them. And then the last one is being able to wear a lot of hats wherever you find yourself. Okay. All right. So that's it for working as a solo designer. Liquid glass. I won't say what it is, or I won't even ask what is it. When they told us about it, how long did it take you before you updated your...
Oh, immediately.
Is it that are you an early adopter of products?
Yes.
That's why you tried it?
Yes. I'm on Apple's developer beta. So as soon as they said good night and I updated mine.
Before you did the updates, what did you think?
First, I think I thought it looked good. I thought it looked good from the demos that they did.
What you saw, like the demos?
In the beginning.
Okay.
Until they started demoing things relating to dark mode and the monochrome stuff. And it didn't really look good in the demos.
Okay.
So a friend of mine, I was chatting with Clinton, a friend of mine, and I was saying some of the demos that they showed didn't help the idea. Because in light mode, it looked fine. Even though there were still some issues, it looked fine. But then once they started moving to dark mode and then the purple and then green and all that, then it started looking sus. So I liked this in the beginning and I was questioning, the idea was a bit not well cooked when it got to the end. But then when I downloaded it, it didn't look as bad as I saw in the demo. So
was the demo did them yawa?
Yes. But then also, I knew or I have an understanding of what Apple does when it comes to their demos. Because their demos are usually the very, very first versions.
Yeah.
So I expected there to be a lot of changes. So with knowing that in the back of my mind, I didn't judge them too much.
For me, I thought it was nice till I saw the demo. But it took me a while before I updated my device.
No, true.
Not necessarily misrule, but I just wanted to see how it will morph a bit, I guess. Plus, I think it was a bit too new for me. The whole it felt or it looked like it would be new, and I don't think I wanted to try it. I wasn't in a hurry to try it, and put it that way. I wasn't in a hurry to try it. I just wanted to take my time, see how people are embracing it, and it was bad. It was bad. I'm sure you'd say a lot of people were quick to judge.
People were too quick to judge it.
Yeah.
People were too quick to judge. I'll call out people. Frankly, now.
I wasn't quick to judge it.
Jeffrey Hinson.
It was my first thought. It's first thoughts. Like somebody says something or somebody shows you something, you have first thoughts. Ideally, you would wait, for some time.
But I felt some of them were too harsh.
Yeah.
Because they were too harsh. Because knowing Apple,
I think it wasn't. I feel they prepared for it.
Yes. Because if you look at the updates, they've done about 3 or 4 updates since then. Yeah. And now it's much, much better. Yeah.
When I updated my OS, there was this glitch happening.
Yes.
After like a week, it was fixed. There was a new update and it was fixed. And right now everything feels smooth, but then there are just a few places with the lags. Yeah. So
I think people also do it just because it's Apple. They hold Apple to a very high standard when it comes to design. I
feel like people also think they have a hold on the design industry.
They do.
Okay.
They do. Because see how every product is trying to implement this liquid glass into Figma recently updated.
Yeah, I went through it yesterday.
If Apple hadn't done that, do you think Figma would have ever thought about that?
In my TikTok video, I did a TikTok video about it. And at the end, I mentioned that it was innovative in the sense that it's going to open a new door to how we design.
Yeah.
Right now, all our designs look the same. Not the same as in we use the same color, but our buttons are flat. Everything is just the way it should be.
Yeah.
Now, this opens a new door. I said, okay, if I don't want my models to look like the way everyone's model is looking right now, there is a new way I could try it, which is the liquid glass way. So I think it's introducing exciting times in design, right? Very soon we'll be a liquid glass designer. I'm looking to hire a liquid glass designer.
that thing will not. There was a time the Vision Pro.
Yeah, they were designers
they were like, what was the name of that?
I'm not sure.
They came up with a name for it where they design and they put it in front of the glass and then there's a living room image behind it.
Yeah.
What was the name? And people thought...
Is it VR designer?
Yes. It came after 2 business days. It disappeared. All those mock-ups are now in people's recycle bin. Yeah. Web3 also came.
Oh, for that, it's another story to tell. Anyways, so right now that liquid glass is like here to stay. Yeah. How do we, as designers, include that in our design, especially knowing that right now, for Figma like this, there's no C code or there's no... So is it only at an experimental phase, like a design phase, before we will talk about how to get developers to use it?
Right now, I don't think it's going to add any value to users.
So it would just be nice.
Yes, it would just be nice right now because it hasn't been battle tested enough.
Okay.
It just came out this year. But it hasn't been battle tested enough. Who knows, this is going to be another fad, another hype that comes to pass. And maybe in the next Apple updates, they're like, oh, but boy, let's go back to our old OS. Right. So it has to be tested. It has to be tested on multiple devices. Accessibility, contrast, a lot of different metrics. It has to be tested. You see how the flat design was tested over there?
I think it also went far because a lot of people adopted it.
Yes.
So if we adopt liquid design as well, we'll be able to...
right now it's only iOS.
Yeah.
Right now it's only iOS. And even though iOS has a good enough market share, there's still a lot of people using Android.
Oh, a lot. My mom still uses it.
There's a lot of people who use Android. We have Infinix, Techno, Samsung, all those who are in the Android ecosystem. Right. So until they also have a say in this remains a nice to have feature on your products. But it's still a big deal for Apple. But then you your SaaS product, you are doing invoice, you want to do liquid glass.
I mean, you want to add ketchup to it.
Good. It will look nice. But right now, from where I stand, I don't see any business value. Right. But it will bring a little bit of delight.
Yeah.
But I don't see any direct business value so after liquid glass, my revenue increased by 2%. Right. So people should still take their time to see how it's going to benefit their users. Otherwise, don't rush into it.
When you say don't rush into it, like, what do you mean? Like,
for your product.
Don't do that. Oh, for like those of us who own products.
Yes. Like Cliff, you do
liquid glass and then your webpage.
So now why are you going to influence? As soon as you click it,
your bookmarks will open and then you can see with the frost and all that. Yeah.
There was a place I wanted to use that previously before even Apple announced liquid glass. I wanted to use it in a virtual card UI. Okay. Where when you freeze the card, it freezes like the glass sort of. And when you unfreeze it, it's defrost. I had an idea to do something, but that project didn't fly. So
maybe you can do it. No, there's AI and there's time and
liquid glass.
Yeah.
So this thing has been on my chest. Well, I've said it a couple of times online. And that was the last time I even put out a poll as to whether people want to be skilled designers or they want to blow on Twitter. Right. So my hot take, well, I'm sure lots of people agree with me that a lot of new designers are focusing a lot on blowing in quotes on Twitter or on social media than the skill itself.
Let me ask, what are the symptoms of a designer who wants to blow on Twitter?
Oh, that they are always posting screenshots of clients DMing them, but then we never see their work. Or they are posting screenshots of they buy a new MacBook and they come and caption it, thank you, Figma. And we never see the work that they do. Or you tell us you have 10 years experience and your portfolio is showing...
Like 1 year experience, right?
No, not even 1 year. Some bootcamp students. So, I have a rule, right? Mm-hmm. I always want my words to be backed up properly by the work that I do, right? So not overhype myself. So whatever I say should be backed up by work.
Okay.
Right. If I'm making certain claims, I need to back it up. Right. And right now you find a lot of people, they don't do that. And I don't blame them though. I've seen it's a very easy way to blow on Twitter.
You just need to have a nice design.
Yeah.
Or something nice happened to you, or you claim something nice is happening to you, and you blow, oh, you've done well, congratulations. I see that those kinds of posts do well. So people will do anything to...
They do well. See, that's what I was telling somebody, if I wanted to grow my account to say 20,000, 100,000, it would be very easy to do.
You just need to come and post that you started a new job.
I have a long list of things I could post, right? But then it's not necessary, right? It's not necessary. What is necessary is putting out quality work. What's necessary is doing things that align with your goals. Maybe that's also their goal. You don't know.
Well,
but then I feel it hinders a lot of growth with designers because I've been in situations where we had to bring on board new designers for projects. And I've seen CVs from people who are quite popular on the timeline, right? I've seen portfolios from people who are popular on the timeline. And it's nothing to write home about. Well, we are not even writing home. It's nothing to WhatsApp home about. Because, but these people are people who have big name online. Right. Last time I tweeted something and it got controversial. I had to mute it. That a lot of people talk online, but then when they catch you in an interview one-on-one, would you be able to? And people, even though people disagree, I still hold that opinion. Nobody has changed my mind on that. That you hire somebody, you get a person, not hire, you interview somebody, you get the person in an interview one-on-one. The person's online talk will not match what you have been hired. You have hired somebody else. How was it?
Hey, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, you don't have to reveal any sensitive information, but generally, what did you think?
It's actually true. There are people that who came to sit and you'd expect a lot from them.
Yeah.
Not even their works, communication, how they present themselves, how they explain their thoughts, all of that. They have this, you create perception about yourself with the way you put yourself out there.
Yes.
So before Derek sits before me, I have some idea about him. I'm like, okay, if as soon as Derek does something outside of that perception, I'm like, So this now I'm thinking twice. Yeah. And the thing is, I'll come and call you out. I'll just keep my thoughts to myself. Go like, okay, if I need work done, I won't call Derek because he's not. And they've been true. I've actually seen some people like that.
Now they want to talk.
I've actually seen some people like that, like the way they carry themselves online and the way they carry themselves when you give them work.
It doesn't match.
It doesn't at all. Yeah. At all. There have been scenarios where I know this person can do the work, but then they haven't, or what I see online and what I'm looking at right now, I wouldn't give the work to them because I don't trust the personality I'll be working with. So yes, a lot of people tweet, post.
They steal designs. There's a guy on Twitter that's been accused of stealing design 4 or 5 times.
And he hasn't.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Because, like you said, he has a goal and probably he's hitting it.
Yes, he's hitting the goal. And there's a pipeline. There's a pipeline. Start design. Get a few months. Post a screenshot about how he landed a client in US and they are paying USD. Then use a filter to something to sticker to cover the amount and then show the email. And then you go into freelance and then you say, I want to teach people to get into freelance. Then you create a community. Then after you create a community, you start doing boot camp. Now, after the boot camp...
You have this thing.
I have the roadmap. After the boot camp, then now you see that they disappeared. By the time I realize,
they are in this Japan.
I'm pleased to announce that I've gotten a visa to this thing. It's a roadmap. If you like, you can follow it.
Oh no, thank you. Yeah. No, thank you.
Maybe say that I never helped you. Like I've given you a roadmap.
I will try that and keep you updated. Okay, so we are at the end of today's episode where we spoke about what it takes or what you would have to do working as a solo designer, what liquid glass is, how we've experienced it, and how we think designers these days are in a hurry to blow. Thank you for staying with us up until this very end. We are grateful. You'll be hearing more from us. So, Derek, what do you have to say to them before we go?
Shout outs to Reagan. And thank you so much for sticking with us to the end of the episode. We are really happy to be back. We know you're also happy that we are back. And we're also happy that you are happy that we are happy we are back. And thank you so much. And we'll see you in the next episode.